You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Engage.
78 years have passed since the days of the original USS Enterprise. Now a new Galaxy starship has been designed.
Well, Transporter Chief, beam our listeners aboard. Welcome to Galaxy Class, a Star Trek The Next Generation podcast on the BQN. I am Diplomatic Standard Bearer Kevin Scarf. With me today are Chief Recreational Officer Ria Papagiorgio and Mr. Keegan. What is your title today?
The Seeker of the Light at the End of the Tunnel.
Oh, you like that one. I wasn't sure if that was something you came up with or
yeah, no,
I
threw that in because we've got 1.5 school days left until the summer.
Ah, nice.
And it's like one of those tunnels where the end gets further away, but there's still bright, shiny light.
Not one of those tunnels like the coyote paints on the side of the rock and you go running fast forward into it and smack into it.
Or that effect that they do in horror movies where there's a tunnel and it kind of gets stretched out, where they do the camera's moving forward but zooming out, or camera's moving back or zooming in. So you get this kind of elongation of the tunnel. It's called dolly zoom, isn't it?
I think so.
It's like when you're running a marathon and you've gone 26 miles and the last 0.2 are actually 28 additional miles.
Yep. Not that I've ever run a marathon before. I've ran 10 miles before, max, and I thought I was dead. Literally dead.
I a few years ago, almost 10 years ago now, I did the Couch to 5K program where you went from being a non-runner to being able to run a 5K in a half an hour. And on the last day, when I was running my 5K, I was trail running through the woods. I hit a root and twisted my ankle, and my feet haven't been the same since, I've never run again. I'm going to my chiropractor now to try to get my feet all straightened out.
I'm never gonna run again. Twisted feet have got no rhythm.
Yeah. So it's summer. What's going on for the summer?
Moving.
Joe, what do you got planned for the summer?
Gardening and
Nice.
Amy visiting. That's about it.
Oh, that's a tough.
Yeah, it's going to be delightful. Can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait.
Just having lots of time off.
Yeah.
To just potter about.
Wow. Yeah, rub it in to us working slobs. Although I cannot wait for the Galaxy Class special live from Scotland.
That's you know what's going to happen,
A lot of slurring. Lots
of wine, yes. More than likely.
Excellent. Ria, you got any big plans this summer?
Just, sell my house, sell everything I own, move cross country, kind of.
That's easy enough. Easy.
Try and get Joe and Ewan to visit me in Greece from Scotland.
Yeah. Greece.
Yes.
Sounds nice.
We were invited too, but you're going to be in clown college. So.
I'm going to clown camp, this summer. It's the only other week of vacation I have this year is already booked up to go to Georgia. So
that'll be fun. That'll be awesome.
It will be.
Nice.
We look forward to your recap from there.
Oh, I look forward to it sounds like it's going to be awesome. It's very active. It's very participatory. Everybody ends up in a big show at the end of the week.
Cool.
And the whole event ends with a giant pie fight.
Oh, nice.
Sounds entirely stupid.
Exactly. That's the point.
I thought that.
As long as there's no running.
Well, I'm going to let our listeners in on a little secret here. We're banking this episode, we are recording this well in advance, so we're going to skip feedback for this week and move right in to our main topic, which is Bat Left Battle 25. Boom, boom, boom.
This is the captain. Senior officers will report to my ready room immediately.
So here we go. Bat Left Battle 25. We are pitting these two episodes against each other, 11001001, which is Season 1, Episode 15, and Unnatural Selection, which is Season 2, Episode 7. Any overarching thoughts on these two, on this particular battle, before we get into the nitty-gritty of these?
I don't get the naming of 11001001. Because if you translate it into decimal, it's 201, which would make sense if it was Season 2, Episode 1. It's not. It's Season 1, Episode 15. So...
Well, what would Season 1, Episode 15 be in binary?
That would be 115. I'm Googling
0B111001.
Yeah, what's the B though? That's not decimal.
Oh, wait, mine went to hexadecimal. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, my theory is that in binary, there are only 4 different possible pairs, right? There's 1-1, there's 0-0, there's 1-0, and there's 0-1. So we got all 4 pairs of binary combinations in this title.
Those are the 4 characters, the 4 binars that are on the ship. That's their names.
1-1, 0-0, 1-0, 0-1.
Yeah. I think that.
What do you call your kids, though?
Call them 0-0. Ooh.
0-0 because there are none of them.
Cool.
Yeah. So, did we discover any commonalities between these two episodes as we watched them?
Early season, still kind of working the kinks out. That was
both science-y episodes.
Yes,
science in both of them.
Yes, they both end up involving a piece of Star Trek technology in an important way, transporters and holodecks, right?
There's a mystery to solve.
Yes.
But I think unlike other Bat'leth battles where we discover really, really key connections between them, I don't know if we've got that here.
Yeah, I think that both were more kind of character studies in a way, or that was part of their purpose.
And I have a feeling I'm going to find this very difficult decision. These two episodes are very close in my mind.
Yeah, I am undecided going in.
I am decided going in.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. Well, you'll have to say yes then, Joe.
This will be fun.
Not by much, but I'm on one side of the line.
So, would you like to give us to start by let's getting right into 110001?
That's not a name of an episode.
11001001.
Yeah.
It's got a nice rhythm.
Whoever's editing, line those up, line that audio up, so we sound like the Borg. So 11001001, the Enterprise has arrived at one of the big mushroom star bases, and the computer's getting upgraded or something, and there's a group of little aliens on board called Binars who always go around in pairs and they speak very quickly to each other in binary. Turns out something's wrong with the ship and it's going to explode, so they evacuate, and it's all very tense. They evacuate everybody, and they there's a bit where the engineering computer voice is saying people from decks like 1 through 8 go to transporters 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it turns out he keeps on counting up until he does it all, however many decks, and there's like over 20 transporters on the ship. And that's quite a lot. But it stuck out at me. So they evacuate the ship and they set the ship out and to leave the starbase before it blows up. And meanwhile, Riker is in the holodeck, enjoying some jazz with a really lifelike character called Mignone. And weirdly, Captain Picard joins Riker on his date. And it's just all very weird and uncomfortable. So, yeah, they're stuck on the ship, and then the ship leaves, and then the ship doesn't blow up, and then they are enjoying this 3-way date thing, which is strange, and they have to figure out what's going on. So it turns out the Binars have basically stolen the Enterprise because their planet was going to be kind of damaged, or all their computers were going to be damaged when their star went supernova, which seemed to really, if your star goes supernova, then your computers don't get damaged, but your planet blows up, I would think. So I'm not really sure what was going on with the science there. So Captain Picard is going to destroy the ship anyway because he thinks it's been kind of commandeered and stolen by some unknown adversary. But then they find out that the Binars just needed to save their society, and they needed the Enterprise's computer to do that. And so they all live happily ever after, really. That's it.
The end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got some questions.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, are the Binars members of the Federation?
You would think they were if they were doing all this computer work for them.
You know, we're going to give these aliens access to our flagship computers. So, if they are members of the Federation, why didn't they just ask for help? Like, why go through all the trouble of commandeering a starship?
Yeah.
Well, they covered that because they said they might have said no. And Riker says, well, that there was only 2 choices for them because they're binary, yes or no, and they couldn't risk the Federation saying no because they would have all died. Which leads me to believe that they're not members of the Federation, because if they were, then they would know that it's probably quite likely that the Federation would jump in to save them.
You would think that anyone who knew the Federation would know that if you said, hey, our planet's going to blow up, can you help us?
Yeah.
They'll send some help.
Yeah. And even if the Federation said no, then you can commandeer the Enterprise. But, whatever.
Yeah.
Another question, I don't really get why they're just binary. Why binary as a communication thing? Why not like hexadecimal or base 60 if you've been watching The Man Who Fell from Earth? Fell to Earth. Why just the simplest binary? It didn't make sense to me.
Well, I think from an outside perspective, from outside the universe, it was because it was the 80s and people knew that binary meant computers.
And computers were kind of relatively new at the time. Yeah, okay.
I kind of like it. I like that they've, because most of our aliens are just humanoids with a different forehead. So when they go a little more different, like the Binars, I always appreciate that. And maybe there's another planet called the Hexnars or the Sextars that, communicate in hexadecimal or base 60. Maybe lower decks, the Sears lower decks will go to the Sextars planet. That could be fun.
Sounds like a fun planet to be.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Is this the first time we've seen them try to use the self-destruct on the Enterprise?
In Next Generation, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's the best use of it as well. That's the one where Riker says, like, absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree, cancel self-destruct. Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
There's something Data says that is wrong, and I can't remember what it is.
his use of the word myself. He uses that wrong throughout all of TNG, but that's probably not what you were talking about.
No, there's a sciencey thing that he says, and I was like, that's just not... Oh, no, it's a different episode. It's the one with the exocomps on it that I was watching the other day. Talking about viruses being alive. I was like,
oh, yeah. No, they're not.
That's not really true. Yeah. So no more questions about 11001001.
Not really.
Okay.
So let's talk about guest stars. Who do we have?
Well, the most obvious, I think, is Carolyn McCormick as Minuet. And
who also plays Min Riker in Future Imperfect.
yes, and appeared in Shades of Grey with clip footage from this episode. But
Yes.
she played a recurring character or a leading role in Spencer for Hire with Avery Brooks.
Oh.
And she was Dr. Elizabeth Olivet in Law and Order.
Ooh. With Star Trek alum Paul Sorvino.
We've got encyclopedic knowledge about these guest stars. That's amazing.
It's amazing. We store them in binary in our brains.
The other guy that Rhea probably knows a bit more about is Gene Dynarski, who played Quinteros, who was the guy that was in charge of the mushroom station. He was in 2 episodes of the original series. He played Ben Childress in Mud's Women and Krodak in The Mark of Gideon.
Oh my gosh, I didn't put the Ben Childress. Wow, goosebumps.
Did I just tell you something you didn't know?
You did. That I always
But
love to have an
weirdly-
original series connection.
Yeah. Weirdly, he was also in the movie Duel, which was, I think it was one of Spielberg's first movies. The one about the crazy, lorry truck that hunts down some guy in his car. Weirdly, and I was looking for this movie the other day because I noticed on Paramount Plus, which just got released in the UK on Wednesday.
Congratulations.
Yes. Very late though. I noticed Cujo was on it. Now the one about the rabid St. Bernard that stalks the mum and her son in their car. Terrifying movie. But it reminded me, I don't know, I must have watched both of those movies around about the same time. Cujo and Jewel. So it made me think of Jewel the other day, and lo and behold, Gene Dynarski's in it. Gene Dynarski was also in All the President's Men in 1976, and I think at least one episode of Seinfeld.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Who else we got?
Katie Boyer and Alexandra Johnson as 01 and 10 in some order. And they did, similar to what they did with the Telosians in TOS, they had female characters kind of overdubbed with male voices or synthesized voices to create that androgynous effect.
And I think they took them down a tone, didn't they? Their voices.
I think they overdubbed them, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Cool. What do we know? Katie Boyer was in Minority Report, The Island in Jurassic Park The Lost World, including episodes of X-Files, CSI and The Shield. I've not seen The Shield.
I've not seen any of those.
I think I've seen everything else apart from The Shield.
I've never watched The Shield either.
No. I'm aware of CSI, but it's not something I watch.
Never seen it.
Alexandra Johnson was in Ellie Law, The Violation of Sarah McDavid, Fatal Vision, and A Long Hot Summer. The only one I recognise there is Ellie Law.
And I will point out, obviously we had Majel Barrett as the voice of the computer, but this was one of the very few times in TNG where we had a voice besides hers as a computer. At one point there was a male voice as the computer, which really kind of threw me off for a little bit. But
yeah, I think the engineering computer has a different voice in early seasons.
I'm trying to remember which computer it was.
Something rings a bell about that.
Yeah, Picard was talking to the computer and it was a male voice. I'm like, well, that's weird.
Very strange.
The other 2 Binars are Iva Lane as 00 and Kellyanne McNally as 11. Kellyanne McNally was only ever in Star Trek. She's not been in anything else, or she's not been credited in anything else. Iva Lane, Rhea, you'll know as having come from Star Trek The Motion Picture.
Ooh.
She played an Enterprise crew member.
Cool. Another TOS connection.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really interesting episode, when you talk about canon, too, I think. They really tried to talk about previous episodes a bit. Like, they describe, when Picard's describing the holodeck, he mentions various things that they have done on the holodeck up to that point. Ski slopes, forests, Dixon Hill. And so it's like they're trying to sort of put continuity into the show here, but it's sort of in a ham-fisted kind of way. It doesn't feel natural.
Yeah.
I think they're still getting their... I mean, this is only episode 15, so they're still getting their feet wet.
My favorite continuity thing, if it even counts as that, is there was a motion picture, a TMP callback, where they're like, and it was right at the end, I think. And there were these shots of the Enterprise and the music, and it was very reminiscent of the... can we use the F word on our show? The Captain Kirk being the Enterprise scene in the motion picture.
I don't think we can, but we get your meaning.
Yeah, definitely got that vibe from that, which I thought was kind of cool. But the Binars we never see again.
No.
Maybe because they didn't get into the Federation because they stole the flagship.
Very true.
Yeah. I mean, they had a good reason, but still.
Yeah, in terms of canon, I don't think there's really much in this.
Minuet.
Apart from the self-destruct and the evacuation, maybe we see a couple other times.
Yeah. And Minuet.
Yeah, Minuet, like you say. Yeah.
There was, in the beginning, they mentioned the planet Tarsus 3, and I'm like, oh, I've heard Tarsus before, and I was looking it up, TARSUS 3, couldn't find anything about it, but this is TARSAS. So...
I was thinking of Simon Tarsus.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of, too.
From... Yeah. The drumhead.
Yes.
Yep. I didn't even have to Google that there.
Oh,
Drumhead
look at
just came to me.
Yeah. Drumhead came to your dumb head.
Encyclopedia. Yeah. So we're kind of...
I was looking at some interesting trivia about this episode from Memory Alpha. In the TV Guide issue where they were celebrating the 30th anniversary of Star Trek, they ranked this as the 6th best Star Trek episode. So that would have been in 1996. So Next Gen would have been done by then. And this was listed as the 6th best Star Trek episode. On that.
6th best.
That's insane. Behind what? Shades of Grey and Sub Rosa and Turnabout Intruder?
I'm not going to rank this that low.
Oh, wow.
I think as a series 1 episode goes, this is a really good one. I think it's suspenseful. It gives us interesting aliens. It lets us know more about Riker and Picard. As season 1 episodes go, I would rank this in at least the top half of season 1.
That's true. And they did a lot of Riker, kind of character development in this episode, although it was so creepy. Oh. Definitely could not be made today.
Probably not.
Riker would get canceled.
The creepiest bit is Picard staying in the date.
Yes.
That was weird. Well, and just Picard walking into the holodeck, and there's Riker getting it on with a simulation. So creepy.
Holodeck should have locks.
Yeah.
But
or at least the captain should have done some kind of override to get in. You don't walk in on somebody's personal.
Someone's hollow date.
Yeah.
But if this is the new upgrade, maybe, before where you just were able to, ski and throw snowballs or whatever, you couldn't quite have the level of experience that Riker would have had had Picard not walked in. I wonder, too, like how long after the upgrade to the holodecks did they have to add the lower deck duties of cleaning out the holodeck.
The gunge.
Yeah, so, yeah. 11001001.
Well, that sounds like a good place to leave our discussion of 11001001 and move on to Season 2, Episode 7, Unnatural Selection. Maria, have you got a summary for Unnatural Selection?
Alrighty. So, Enterprise is tootling about in space. They get a distress call, investigate. They find this ship where everybody's dead, and using a old Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan trick, they hack the system and hack the ship and find out that basically everyone died of old age. It's the USS Lantry, and they go investigate like where it had been previously, and discover it had stopped at Darwin Station. So of course they're concerned that the people at Darwin Station might be, exposed to whatever killed the Lantry crew. So they go to Darwin Genetic Research Station, which might raise a red flag or two, and the Dr. Kingsley there responds and says that they've got some kind of sickness, everyone's getting old, they're concerned about their children, can you help? Please help the children, blah, blah, blah. So after some back and forth, concerns about infecting the crew of the Enterprise, Dr. Pulaski, who's very passionate about helping the children, comes up with a plan to beam one child up encased in, what's it, styrolite? Yeah. So she can scan him for diseases, make sure that he can't infect the Enterprise. The best she can tell, she doesn't believe that these kids pose a danger. Picard's not willing to take the risk of killing the entire crew and people aboard the Enterprise, which I think is a wise decision. So Pulaski decides to go aboard a shuttlecraft with the kid and Data so she can examine the kid further, only to find that, yes, actually he can spread the disease and she gets sick, and so they end up returning to the planet. And she finds out from the doctors there that these kids are basically genetically engineered. They have these incredible immune systems. They're telekinetic. They're just these amazing super kids. No lessons were learned from Khan or the augments or anything, but that's neither here nor there. And they figure out that one of the crew of the Lantry had a virus which the kids' immune systems had attacked and turned into this super bug that turned them all geriatric and killed them all. So anyway, long story short, they figure out how to alter the genetic code or something, and then through transporter magic are able to beam Pulaski back in time to her previous genetic condition and do the same thing with the adults on the station, and everything is fine, and then it's never spoken of again.
I would have liked it better if now they used some hair from her hairbrush in her quarters as a sample of kind of DNA that wasn't infected by this disease, that when they combined her DNA from the hair with her transporter pattern, that she materialised as some kind of giant sentient wig. And that's who the CMO was now, a giant sentient wig.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That would work. That has to be something the lower decks should do.
Yes.
I feel.
A giant sentient wig.
Yes. Mike McMahon needs to subscribe to Galaxy Class because we're just feeding him with all sorts of...
then we'd have to get story credits, and we'd have to join the Writers Guild.
And then we'd get residuals,
and retire, and buy a boat.
Yeah.
All sorts. The good thing about a sentient wig would be that every week it would have a different hairstyle.
Kind of like Dr. Crusher.
Cool.
So there's I really like this episode a lot, actually. But there are some things in it that go against what's established later in Trek canon, like genetic manipulation of children.
Genetic manipulation itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, forbidden.
Forbidden.
Yes.
Yeah, not so forbidden here.
It even goes against what was established previously, even in TOS in the Deadly Years. You know, there were always like the do not genetically engineer, only bad things can happen. But anyway.
So, yeah. And it also comes up with the question, if the transporter can cure this, why can't it cure anything, including aging and death? Just sort of reset you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like screw yourself out, transport yourself on your body.
Pretty much. Just use just make sure that everybody keeps some old hair follicles or toenails stored. And, say maybe around age 25, you just store pull out all your hair at age 25. And so that
do you know what would happen though? I would be like nearly dead, and they'd come in and rummage around my house for a hairbrush, and they'd find one of the dog's brushes, take a hair from it, and then they'd recombine me, and I'd be like kind of half man, half dog. Yeah.
I might actually pay to see that, Joe.
Yeah. What would I be like? I don't know. Like, what's her face from Lord X? The Doctor?
Oh,
Ta'ana.
Dr. Ta'ana.
Ta'ana, yeah, but a dog version of Ta'ana.
Nice. Although there
was one of those on Doctor Who last year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was a dog alien. Very, very cool.
But there is precedence in Star Trek for using the transporter to reverse the effects of aging, and that was in the animated series, in the Lorelei signal.
Yes.
But thankfully, this is the last time we see that.
Yeah.
What age, if it was a thing, what age would you go back to being? What would be your standard age?
Like 28.
45.
28, okay. Oh, you are 45, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe 42.
Oh no, I'd be like, yeah, I would, I think, yeah, mid-20s, I think.
Actually, best shape of my life was probably 43. So somewhere in that range.
But with a younger body, you could still get it into that shape, right? And be healthier.
Possibly.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't think I had as many aches and pains when I was 28 as I have now. At 51.
Yeah. I'm in less pain now than I was in my 20s. But I also
for you.
have I guess I take better care of myself. It's probably.
Yeah. I think we skipped and didn't talk about guest people.
We have not talked about guests.
See, before we talk about guests, can we talk about my perception of Patrick Stewart's really wooden acting at the beginning?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I just screamed like, I see even Patrick Stewart acting. Right at the very beginning, Troy comes into the ready room and he's like, how do you feel that the new chief medical officer's getting on? But it's just really stilted and awkward sounding. And I think he's trying to get across the fact that he's broaching a sensitive subject, but it just feels really wooden.
I agree, yeah. The whole conversation seemed kind of forced, but it seemed like, in this episode, we are going to examine Dr. Pulaski and Captain Picard's relationship. It just, was a little...
It wasn't great writing.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Okay.
So, you can be the best actor in the world, but if you're not given great dialogue,
Yeah,
it's not
chunky
gonna come out
words.
great.
So I wonder, someone like Patrick Stewart, when you get, if you get a scene that's total crap, to go. I mean, Patrick Stewart's a professional; he'll do it to the best of his ability. But I got to imagine there's the temptation to be like, oh, so Dr. Pulaski, to be like, oh, this is so bad I can't even do it.
Just like just be super lazy about it.
Or just do it so badly that they have to cut it.
Yeah.
Or he could have just been having an off day. Maybe he had a cold. Maybe he was hungover.
Maybe that's how he was directed to do it.
Who knows? We will never know. We'll never know. Can we talk about our guest people on it?
No.
Sure.
Because there's the weirdest crossover.
Okay.
So Dr. Kingsley is played by Patricia Smith.
Yes.
And it turns out she was in the Roots sequel, Roots: The Next Generations.
Oh.
Yeah. But also J. Patrick McNamara, who played Captain Taggart, who was the captain of the ship they contacted to try and get a transporter trace for Dr. Pulaski. He was also in the Roots sequel, Roots: The Next Generations.
Really?
Yeah. Which I find quite strange. It's a coincidence, but interesting.
Was LeVar Burton in the Roots sequel or just in Roots?
He's just in Roots, as far as I could see.
But he was in the Next Generation of Star Trek, but not in the Next Generation of Roots. But these actors that were in the Next Generation of Star Trek were also in the Next Generation of Roots.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Patricia Smith, Dr. Kingsley, was also in The Twilight Zone, My Favourite Martian, Mission Impossible, Quincy, and some episodes of The Debbie Reynolds Show and The Bob Newhart Show.
Yeah.
Did you know?
She had a long career.
In her episode of Mission Impossible, that episode also co-starred Leonard Nimoy.
He was a regular on that show at the time, wasn't he? Didn't he do Mission Impossible after Star Trek? I think.
I have no clue.
So Colm Meaney in this episode, this was the first episode where he was credited as a guest star and not in the closing credits. Although the very next episode, he was in the closing credits. Not a guest star.
Well, he had a pretty big role in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
He had more of a role than, say, Wesley Crusher had in this episode.
Yeah.
Which was nice. Because, I mean, nice that that we get to see him doing things, and that it's not this wasn't a Wesley Crusher saves the day episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wesley wasn't involved in this plot at all. I don't think Wesley even knew what was going on.
Wesley drives the ship.
That's all Wesley does in this episode, which is fine.
Yeah, and this was the first time Chief O'Brien was referred to as the transporter chief, and also the first time he got a name. And he didn't just tech the tech here; he science the science. This one.
Well, it's a cool techno babble.
Yeah. And get those panels off. They still had to tech the tech, I guess. Of course, we have Dr. Pulaski, played by Diana Muldaur, so we've got another TOS connection here. I love her. A lot of people don't, but
I like her too. I especially like her in this episode. I think this was episode 7 of season 2, and I think she was just sort of an abrasive presence in the previous 6 episodes, and this is the episode where we find out why she is like she is, what drives her, and I'm really impressed by her here. Her forthrightness, her dedication to the science and the medicine of everything, standing up for what she believes in, even in front of Captain Picard. It's brilliant.
yeah.
And I get that she replaced a favorite character, although Beverly didn't really do much in season 1. They replaced Gates McFadden with a doctor character who has a really interesting personality.
Yeah, I thought I agree with you. I thought she was great in this episode. I thought some of the I understand they were trying to show how, what an incredible doctor she was, but I thought some of that was a little ham-fisted. Her former captain, that whole conversation about how, oh, if I could have her back, I would, and well, she wanted to be aboard the flagship. I just thought that was the writing wasn't super on that. The doctor, why am I blanking out on her name? The doctor on Darwin Station, Dr. Kingsley. She recognized Dr. Pulaski right away, and that was kind of cool. But the whole transporter thing too seemed a little forced. It
does feel like a throwback to McCoy.
Yeah, and I think that's what they were trying to do. And then it created, the drama of having to find some DNA. But it's like, come on, you can't be in Starfleet for 100 years like Dr. Pulaski and never step foot in a transporter. It just. But it was a plot device, I guess. But
yeah,
I also like the way that Deanna describes Dr. Pulaski, and I like that she just calls her Kate. I think that's nice. It shows that they're friends, that they have created a relationship outside of work. I like the way she describes her to the captain. I just thought it was very nice.
Yes, I'm definitely Team Pulaski.
Yeah, and I wish she hadn't just been written out of the show without any explanation of where she went, or that we never see her again. It's sad. I know that she does show up in lots of novels, but it is a sort of a dangling character thread, I think, that TNG left us with.
Yeah. And
Lower
Decks,
on record
pick it up.
I don't think she had such a good time.
Yeah.
Because is there not a documentary footage of her, like, saying, I don't know, she mentioned something about her time on TNG, or how she felt about it, or how she feels about it now, or that she would never go back and do it again, or something like that. So, not sure what went on there. There's one other guest who plays Ensign Shipley, Scott Trost. He also played the same character in the Schisms episode, and also a Deep Space Nine episode, A Man Alone, where he played a Bajoran officer. And that's it for guest folk.
So that brings us to importance to canon.
Well, the most important is the Miranda class starship.
Oh.
The USS Reliant. And I normally don't notice starships, but if you're going to bring back something from the Wrath of Khan, that caught my eye.
Oh.
Is there not more of a breach of canon in the whole genetic manipulation thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
There is that. But the backstory of Pulaski, getting to know Pulaski, I think that's pretty much where the importance to canon comes from. This is where we learn about Kate Pulaski.
Yeah. And I think the launching also of Chief O'Brien.
True.
But we never hear of Darwin Genetic Research Station again.
No, those kids are still on that planet playing 3D chess.
With their minds.
Interesting trivia, just to go back a little bit here. Apparently, originally, the script indicated that the children would be naked, but then the furniture they provided was see-through, so that's why they're wearing clothes.
I'm glad they're wearing clothes. That might have been a little creepy with these adults watching these naked kids in a cage. Okay, yeah. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, that would have gotten us all cancelled, wouldn't it?
Well, that sounds like we've ended our discussion on unnatural selection. That brings us to the debate. Now, we didn't get any listener polling up, so listeners, please let us know in the feedback how you would have voted. We really do want to hear from you. But how do we feel about these two episodes? Who would like to go first? Rhea, you look like you have something to say.
That was my thinking face. Yeah, so I came into this episode undecided. I watched both of them back to back last night, and before I watched them, I was leaning one way, and then after I watched them, I was kind of undecided. Now we've had our discussion, and so with 11001001, the creepiness factor turns me off. Just Riker's on the holodeck that just creeps me out, and that was a hard part to get past. Then with Unnatural Selection, I love Pulaski, and I love having a Pulaski episode, and getting to know her better and everything that we just talked about. But just the blatant violation of of Starfleet and the Federation's well-established policies on genetic engineering, just ugh.
Well, to be fair, they hadn't been established yet at this point, really.
Yeah. Except, I mean, it was pretty strongly hinted at in the original series that it was a bad thing to do, but like Miri. But anyway, so both episodes kind of present me with stuff that's kind of tough to get over, but they both have a lot of good stuff. Again, I love the Pulaski moments. 10010011101B3, whatever. You know, like I said, it's mystery, it's tense. There's, the Binars are a fun species, I think. So it's like, what can I get over it more easily, the creepiness or the canon violation? And I think I can get over the creepiness, and I will vote for 11001001.
Joe, how do you feel?
I think they're both the same episode, really.
Really?
Yeah, they both got a mystery to solve. They both got science. They both got character development. They're both different episodes, but they're kind of both the same, I think. I'm not a huge fan of Pulaski. I think the times that we see her where she rubs us up the wrong way, like the data thing, there's an abrasiveness to her that doesn't sit comfortably with me. And do you know what? I've got really fond memories of seeing 11001001 and loving the fact when I was at high school they named an episode after binary, because I think I knew what binary was at that point. Mm-hmm. I don't know when I saw it. Was I about maybe 13 or 14? So it would have been about 1990, 1991. Because remember, back in the days, we got Star Trek episodes like 2 years
right.
Yeah, when the BBC decided to air them. So yeah, I am going to choose 11001001.
Excellent.
Which means we don't have to even hear from you, Kevin.
That's right.
Okay, the episode is over. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Goodbye.
Now, I really like Unnatural Selection as a character study of Pulaski. Mm-hmm. But when one of our criteria is importance to canon, you can't overlook the blatant violation of the genetic manipulation of children on this episode. And there are more canon connections in 11001001 than there are in this one. So, for those reasons, I will also vote for 11001001. Huzzah!
It's unanimous.
Unanimous. So let's take a look at where we go.
So what's the number 3 in binary? 11?
3 is 11.
Yes. Yeah, 0011.
Okay, so 11001001 wins by a score of 11 to 0.
It does. So 11001001 will be going up against the episode Lower Decks in round 2.
Not the TV show, but the episode
TV
of
show,
Next
but the
Generation.
episode. And that won't be for quite some time. That will be Batleth Battle 89, and this was Batleth Battle 25. So give us a couple of years. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to announce that Batleth Battle 26 will be a matter of perspective versus Star Trek Nemesis.
Which one will Amy
So
vote
I
for?
think the three of us should get together for the next Batleth battle and have a real frank discussion about Star Trek Nemesis.
Sounds like a date.
I think Amy might come in with a little bias.
I think Amy's vote was cast a long time ago.
Now, a matter of perspective, is that the episode with the murder that happens and they recreate it on the holodeck? Everybody tells their version of the story? Yeah.
A courtroom drama, yeah.
Oh, boy. That'll be a fun one.
So we have that to look forward to in a few weeks.
I don't know how I would vote on that.
I know.
I don't like either of them.
Neither do I.
Well, think about the importance. That's where we're coming
okay.
from. Well,
Incoming transmission.
we would love to hear your thoughts on today's show, and we hope you will join the Facebook group, the BQN Collective. Now, if you're already on the Federation Council Chambers, you are already there and you won't have to join another group. You should all be in the BQN Collective by now. And you can also follow us on Twitter at GalaxyClassPod. You can also follow the network on Twitter and Instagram at BQN Podcasts.
Please hit the subscribe button on your podcast catcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts or not, and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show.
Rhea, where can people find you when you're not 00101 011 Ing.
What was the last word?
One.
Oh.
Ing.
Ing? Oh.
I made it a verb.
When I'm not 137ing, you can find me.
That's not what I said, and you know it.
I don't know what you said. When I'm not doing a number-ing, you can find me packing up my house and moving and driving across country and blowing off my job. Oh, I didn't say that. And recording Galaxy Class. You can also find me posting on the Federation Council. No, whoops.
No,
Cut that.
you are not doing that.
You can also find me posting in the BQN Collective. And that's pretty much the extent of my social media-ing. So, Kevin, where can people find you when you are listening to jazz, all jazz, except Dixieland, because you can't dance to it?
Well, it's hard to podcast while listening to jazz, but I try. And so you can find me, in addition to Galaxy Class, on True North Nerds, a general nerd and geekery podcast, on Stage Whispers, the local theater podcast. You also might have heard me popping up around the network lately. I am on a recent episode of Mickey's Marvels. I've done a Union Federation, so, I'm showing up here and there.
Awesome.
I'm also on the Twitters at True North Nerds, on the Instagrams, on the TikToks, on the everythings. You can find me. Joe, where can people find you when you are rapidly aging?
That's really offensive. I can't believe you just called me old.
What's offensive about being old? That's offensive, Joe, that you find
I'm the oldest one of the three of us here, so...
You're the youngest, Joe.
He said it was rapidly aging. I look after my visage. Thank you very much.
Well, a little Grecian formula wouldn't hurt, but whatever.
Well... Is that wine? Is that what you call wine? That sounds nice.
Olive oil.
When I'm not apparently looking really ancient, thanks, Kevin. It's been a tough year.
I know.
You can, yeah. Do you know what? Find me on all the social medias that you normally find me on. If you can be bothered, I don't really care. I just want it to be the summer holidays. Thanks.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. We're putting out more exclusive content for our patrons, like It's Green or Amy's Math Moments, that you won't want to miss. With a monthly Patreon subscription of $5 or more, you can join our meetings of the Hive Mind on the second Saturday of each month. Watch your Patreon messages for details. If you feel so inclined, please check out all the details at patreon.com/BQN. A huge shout out to our very own associate producer, Jim McMahon, who is famous for being our quiz host on Trivia with Jim. We are very grateful, Jim, for your support.
Yes, we are.
And for making us look dumb.
Which is not that hard. At this time, we would like to give props to those instrumental to launching BQN. They are Mark White, the one and only Amy Nelson.
Amy Wilson.
The one and only Amy
And
Wilson.
Nilsson.
Amy Nelson.
She's French like Minuet. Yeah.
Oui,
and
oui.
Nilsson.
Amy Nelson, Tony Robinson, and Kendrick.
So thank you for beaming aboard the Galaxy class. Until next time.
Omicron, Alpha, Yellow, Daystar 27.
What's a knockout like you doing in a computer-generated gin joint like this?
Oh my
Okay,
quote!
in that case,
All good.
if winning is not important then, Commander, why keep score? Stay classy, Galaxy!
Now I feel wrong
Just
using this one.
Cut mine out.
But what's a computer-generated knockout like you doing in a gin joint like this? No, I got it wrong. What's a knockout like you doing in a computer-generated gin joint like this? Let's try that again. What's a knockout like you doing in a computer-generated gin joint like this? See ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
Do you know, it's lines like that, you know they had to do like a million takes.
Uh-huh.
Engage.